Everything good? Yep. Thank you. Thanks again, everyone, for your patience. And we will move on to the meeting now. I will start with some announcements. Council met in executive session prior to this evening's meeting to discuss legal matters. I would like to start with the previous council meeting on July 13th, 2026. Town Council entered into an executive session regarding legal matters. That meeting concluded at 9:30 p.m. Please join us on August 13th from 8:30 to 10 p.m. at Wall Park for Perseids Meteor Shower Viewing Party. Should be a great evening for that. Don't forget to save the date for our Town of McCandless Community Day, which will take place on September 19th, 2026, beginning at 1 p.m. behind Town Hall. And we're also looking forward to the Shining Star Gala, which will be held on Friday, November 6th at the Camelot Event Center. We will be honoring 9 recipients for their extraordinary services and volunteerism within the McCandless community. For more details and tickets, please visit our website. And now, Mr. John Schwind, our town manager, would like to give an update regarding the Cumberland Road opening.
One more announcement prior to that. We did have an executive session immediately prior to this meeting also from 6 p.m. until 6:50 p.m. to discuss legal matters. Now to the Cumberland Road opening. Everything has been finished with the exception of line striping. The road is paved. We were ready to open last week. The line striper had to cancel due to weather. Temporary line striping will be put in place on Tuesday, tomorrow, and then the permanent lines will be in place on August 26th. Once those temporary lines are painted, tomorrow we can open the road and remove the detour signs. So that is the current update on that process. Happy to answer any questions anybody has about it.
Thank you for the update. And now, if there's no further announcements from council, I'd like to welcome public comment on agenda items only.
Ellen Wright, 9635 Old Coomer Road, Allison Park, PA 15101. I have 3 comments about the new business on number 8. I continue to be concerned that when council is voting on issues, that the whole documents are not being shown to the residents. The first motion for the grant for $150,000. I did a little research. Most renovations for ADA bathrooms are about $30,000. So even if there's a $30,000 bathroom here and a $30,000 bathroom at the park, that leaves $90,000. What is the $150,000 for that's being applied for in the grant? And why not show that to the residents? The same issue with the Main Street grant. Why not show that to the residents? And why just show the last page where the approvals are? And the same thing with the last one for the police contract. Once again, why is that being brought to council without a whole document? Why not wait and show the whole document and have the whole document be approved? And then lastly, about those 3 things, in the spring, the town manager read aloud to us a section of resolution number 12 of 2016 about giving names and addresses when residents spoke. But item number 1 says that residents are to make comments on items before they're voted on after council comments. So I'm making these comments without any documentation and without any comments from council in direct contradiction to what resolution number 12, let me try that one more time. Resolution 12 of 2016, item number 1 says, and so why are we following part of the resolution and not the whole resolution? When council passes resolutions such as the e-bike ordinance, if a resident says, hey, I don't want to follow all of this ordinance, council itself doesn't follow all of its own resolutions, so why should residents follow all of the ordinances that apply to them in the town. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, if there's no further public comment on agenda items, we will move on now to the approval of minutes. Can we have a motion,
I
please?
make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of Town Council, July 27, 2026.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions, comments, corrections from council? Okay, hearing none. All in favor of approving town council minutes from July 27th, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. We'll move now to reports of committee. We'll start with our Public Safety Committee staff reports. Chief is not here with us this evening, but his report was in the packet, and I'm sure Mr. Schwen would be happy to answer any questions council may have regarding that report.
Chief asked for a few things to be highlighted in there, 1,054 calls in the month of July. He typically highlights the training for the K-9 and the K-9 officer, which you can see in the packet, and also that 2 of the 3 detectives took some specialized training also during the course of the month. North Hills SRT continued their monthly trainings as well. 26 individuals were referred to our social worker, Ms. Fry, during the month, and she also participated in community outreach along with the K-9 team, EMS, and the Ingomar Fire Department to residents of Perry Health and Rehab. Lastly, in his report, 39 calls relating to deer, 24 carcasses hauled from Big Daddy. You'll notice that the chief started to use a new format for his report this time. I'm sure that he will continue to work to make it a little better. This is offering some more information. I think it helps give a little bit better detail on what the calls were that we see throughout the month. So Chief will continue to modify that report, and I'm sure he'll be happy in September to take any questions you have about that new format too.
Thank you. Are there any more questions?
Please relay to the chief, outstanding job on National Night Out. The feedback from the community was fantastic, and to actually see the K-9 officer in action was an amazing thing. So excellent job by the town staff, obviously, including yourself, but I know that was spearheaded by the chief and the police department, so thank you.
I'd like to go a step further. Our fire departments were all involved. Our SRT for the county was involved. I thought it was a great representation of what we have with our first responders. So I echo what you had to say.
Thanks, Mr. Wall. Okay. There's no further comment on our chief's report. We will now ask Marshall Wismar for his report for the month of July, please.
Okay, good evening, council. For the month of July, there were 16 fire code and fire prevention program for 48 kids, 1 safety training program for some employees at Cumberland Crossings. The big news is the update on our Storts installation by Westview Water. And I can tell you that as of last week, we have over 95% of our hydrants in the town, public hydrants, that have been outfitted with the Storts adapters. Now it's just a matter of, there were some record, I would say, keeping issues, just finding the last few hydrants. But yeah, over 95% of our public hydrants are done. And I've already had at least half a dozen property owners already respond to the letters that have been mailed out, and they've already installed their Storts adapters. So we're well underway, and I can say that's progress. As far as for to give you an idea, in June, our fire call summary, there were 129 calls within the town, for an additional 43 out-of-town responses, for a total of 172 calls for the month of June. If anybody's keeping math in my other spreadsheet, at the end of June, we have responded to 999 calls for the year. So you can see we're a very busy community. That's all I got.
Thank you. Any questions for Mr. Wismar from the council? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to our building permit report for the month of July 2026. This report was in your packet. Anything to add, Mr. Schwen?
65 permits this month, which is an exceptional number for us to have. Fences, signs, and solar panels are your typical permit applications throughout the month. Nothing out of the ordinary. Happy to answer any specific questions you have.
If there's no questions from Mr. Schwand, we will move to liaison reports. Personnel Board, Mr. Giorgetti.
There was no meeting.
Thank you. And the Volunteer Firefighter Steering Committee did meet this month. Working together, I've been impressed with the cooperation and collaboration amongst the departments. I think that's not been seen before. Mr. Wisner, you probably would agree that there's a real, coming to the table here, we're seeing real focus on what the departments can do together for the safety of our community, and I really appreciate that personally. Our next meeting will be in October, but if you have any questions, please let me know. Okay, hearing none, any public comment on public safety?
Ellen Wright, 9635 Old Coomer Road, Allison Park, PA 15101. Glacier Drive is still flooding near the park and ride, and the barrels have been removed. Washington Boulevard in the city floods. They have electronic barriers that are to come down, but they don't always work, so they keep the barrels right there as a backup. I don't understand why we just don't keep the barrels on Glacier Drive, because it still floods. I mean, it floods. So it's a safety issue, and I know we're always concerned about safety, and just to keep the barrels there so that somebody doesn't have to cart the barrels out when it floods. It's flooded twice in the last month. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Okay, if there's no further public comment on public safety, let's move on to facilities management. Our Public Works Activity Report. And Mr. Schwen, you'll be taking that over today.
Thank you to Diane, who put together this report and included the photos so that you can see the work that the crews do. Shout out to really all the members of the team over there, especially the workers and the three foremen who need to get credit for how motivated they keep our laborers as they work through these heavy construction projects. It's not just a crew of grass cutters like some people might think it is. There's a significant amount of construction that gets done around here by our in-house team. One of the main things to highlight will be the stormwater ponds that continue to get their maintenance. They're on to their second cut for the year. There's over 60 ponds that we take care of in the town, and the crew works hard all summer long to make sure that they're kept clean and open for whenever the heavy rains in the fall come.
And we appreciate everybody working in this heat and things too. The efforts put forth are incredible, and like you said, we have a team of professionals that most communities can't brag about, and I'm happy that we can. Are there any questions for Mr. Schwen, Public Works? Comments? Okay, moving to liaison reports, Environmental Advisory Committee, Mr. Hickerson.
Thank you. We're in conversations with other EAC committees about deer control and the importance that they need to pick up the pace on their ends as well in order to solve this problem in the North Hills. And they had a great presence at National Night Out.
Okay, they always do put a good effort out there, and I know the children really love all the projects they do.
I've gotten good reviews.
Yeah. Any questions on the EAC from council? Okay, our ad hoc stormwater management committee, Mr. Babich.
We will be meeting on the 19th, so I will have an update for you at the next council meeting.
Very good, thank you. Is there any public comment on facilities management? Okay, seeing none, we will move to reports of services committee, starting with liaison reports. McCandless Township Sanitary Authority, Mr. Arlo.
Yep, there was a regular meeting Thursday last week. I was out of town, and Mr. Babich was kind enough to attend in my absence. I don't believe the meeting minutes have been emailed to us, or they are in your packet, but Nathan can certainly.
It was a fairly quiet meeting. I would say that the biggest thing of note to me was, they're still playing catch up on the large amount of delinquencies that they have. They have 152 liens pending, which is quite a workload to get through.
Thank you. Any questions from council about MTSA? Okay. McCandless Franklin Park Ambulance Authority, Mr. Trigetti.
That report is in your packet, and I will also just mention that they were out in full force on National Night Out, and it was great to see them there. Our EMS, our fire, and our police are our unsung heroes in this town, so it was nice for them to show off it.
And they're very much appreciated, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Giorgetti about the ambulance authority? Okay. Northland Public Library Authority, Mr. Babich.
There were over 1,100 patrons per day in June, which is the library's highest since 2019. So in the post-COVID world, they hit a new record. Pretty exceptional. They have circulated over 500,000 items in the first half of the year, which will, if they stay on track, make this the 4th year in a row they have circulated over 1 million.
Oh, that's incredible. We have a great resource here. My neighbors just brought over their new cat that they got from the library today. Which, if you know anything about the library program, you can rent a kind of a animatronic cat that's very lifelike. That
Katie,
so the
for the real one.
So my next door neighbors were very excited to show me this morning. Great programming at our library. Any further comment or questions from council? Okay, any public comment on the services committee from our audience members? Okay, moving on to old business. There is no old business. So agenda item 8, new business. Action concerning resolution 2026-12. Can we have a motion and a second, and we can discuss?
I'll make a motion to approve tentatively identified resolution 2026-12, authorizing the filing of an application for funds with the RAAC.
Thank you. Can we have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Okay, Mr. Schwen, would you like to share any information about this?
I would actually like Ms. Stringent to share information about this. She works hard on these grant applications, so please feel free.
Thank you, Mr. Schwen. Good evening, council. I mentioned both the items in A and B at our last meeting, but I'll go over again those applications. The first motion there in item A is through the Gaming Economic Development Tourism Fund. This is a grant application administered through the Redevelopment Authority of Allegheny County. This is a request in the amount of $150,000 and $222 for ADA improvements to the restroom facilities here at Town Hall and at Devlin Park. We did previously apply for ADA restroom improvements at Town Hall, although we were not successful with this application in item A.
Any questions from council?
For reference, the engineer did provide quotes and, probable cost for these renovations. As you had seen when we applied for the grant through the CDBG for these restrooms in Town Hall, it was approximately $90,000, $45,000 per bathroom. And then there are 2 bathrooms also out in Devlin Park that are a little bit less than these would have cost because there's not quite as many amenities in there. That's how we achieved the $150,220 request for the grant.
Thank you. Okay, if there's no further questions, all in favor of approving resolution 2026-12, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No? Motion carries. Okay, next, may I have a motion concerning resolution 2026-13?
I'll make a motion to approve tentatively identified resolution 2026-13, authorizing the town manager to submit a Main Street Matters grant for West Inglemoor Road streetscape planning project.
Second. Thank you. Salt? Okay, Ms. Strickland, would you like to share again?
Thank you. As noted, this is a Main Street Matters application administered through Allegheny County. This is a master planning grant for the creation of a streetscape along West Inglemoor Road. This is a planning grant that would look at potentially Harmony Drive past Inglemoor Elementary, and there's a 25% match associated with this grant application.
Is this the second or third time that we've done it?
This will be the third time, so third time's a charm. I'm going to take a hard look at this application. I'm meeting tomorrow with an individual from DCD who oversees this application process. I'm going to speak with them about how we better position this application. So it might look a little bit different in this iteration, but again, we're requesting that for a planning grant to look at what the potential streetscape could and potentially look like.
So this is a planning grant, this isn't an
This is not
grant.
shovels in the ground. This is a planning grant only.
Thank you.
Any further questions from council? Comments? Okay. All in favor of approving Resolution 2026-13, authorizing town manager to submit a Main Street Matters grant for West Ingermore Road Streetscape Planning Project, please respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Now, may I have a motion concerning police collective bargaining
May
agreement?
I make a motion to approve the memorandum dated August 5th, 2026, which outlines the terms negotiated by the town and the McCandless Police Officers Association to amend the existing collective bargaining agreement, CBA, and which shall be incorporated into a consolidated CBA for the term of January 1st, 2027 to December 31st, 2031, in a form acceptable to the town attorney, the town manager, and the president of town council.
Thank you. A motion, do we have a second, please?
Second.
Okay. Mr. Spring, would you like to share any information?
Absolutely. Pleased to present this contract agreement to council throughout the year. I've had the pleasure to work with the 4 representatives from the McCandless Police Officers Association in discussions, on how we could improve the contract in a way that's beneficial to both the police officers and to the town. I've highlighted all of the changes, the proposed changes in the contract. Keep in mind that our friends in the MPOA have already reviewed these and have already agreed to these terms also. I'll highlight the items for you below. First, this will be a 5-year contract as opposed to 3 or 4-year contracts that we've had in the past. Second, salary adjustments are made according to the following chart outlined in section 2. These represent raises for the first 2 years of 4% and raises for the last 3 years of 3% each year. Healthcare plan shall be amended. What we're doing is we're going to offer a different plan to our officers, and they have agreed in exchange for keeping the rate at 11%. We are eliminating one of the most rich benefit plans in that program that cost the town a significant amount of money. There were 3 options available before. Now there will be 2, UPMC traditional PPO or the Highmark Performance Blue option. And the most expensive plan, which allowed you to use both networks, has been removed. Also, in addition to that, trying to incentivize officers who have other healthcare opportunities available to them, we've offered to increase the amount that would be paid back to an officer if they choose not to take the healthcare premium. That's a win for the officer who wouldn't take it and a win for the town if people would choose to maybe be on their spouses or a different type of healthcare. One of the big things that you'll see added in here, they go hand in hand. I'll get back to number 4 actually, because it's kind of a big deal. Sick time permitted in increments. That's a change that's helpful to scheduling for our leaders and for the officers who want to take their sick time. This is a cleanup item, number 6. Based on the 12-hour shifts, we had a number in there of accumulating a maximum of 40 hours of comp time. That did not divide evenly into 12-hour shifts, so we agreed to amend that to 60 hours of comp time. Longevity pay will be paid twice per year, depending on what your hire date is now, rather than paid out on the date of hire, simplifying the payroll process for Brittany and her team. Returning the uniform allowance to 1.25% of patrol officers' highest base annual salary as it had been in the past, reterming it to a duty allowance in order to allow for the purchase of equipment that can be used on duty that's not necessarily clothing. The town shall be responsible for the purchase of the ballistic bulletproof vests in order to keep our officers safe. Number 10 and number 4 go hand in hand. Number 4 is a pension plan adjustment in accordance with Act 49 that allows for police officers to buy back up to 3 years of service that they would have had in a prior police department. Combining this with lateral transfers, item number 10, allows us to be in a position where we should be able to recruit officers who are in other police departments who would want to come to the town of McCandless, who but were maybe not interested in giving up some of their years of service that they put in towards other places, and it allows them to come in at steps that aren't the entry-level step. So you can see it's tiered based on 36 to 60 months of service coming in at step 3, 61 to 84 months of service, step 4, more than 84 months, which is 7 years, coming in at the 5-year step here. So they're not coming in at a 1-to-1 ratio, but, encouraging prior experience so that we can get the best pool of candidates that we can find. This contract is going to be beneficial to our hiring process. It's going to be beneficial to keep our officers happy and satisfied. They're a very important part of our team. Public safety is crucial to this council and to administration as well. And I feel that this contract represents a great understanding of the importance that our officers have and the fact that, they see that there were benefits to the town in this also, and we were able to come to an agreement.
Thank you. And I want to say, on behalf of council, we appreciate the long, many hours that you put in with our police representatives of the Police Officers Association. I know those representatives, we do appreciate their time and hours that they invested in this as well on behalf of their team downstairs. We see many times over, looking at other local communities, the lack of officers. There was just an article online today about more small regional police forces shutting their doors and combining. We want to let our officers know we value them in our community, and I think all of council agrees with that. And I appreciate the hard work put into this.
Thank you to those representatives from the MPOA. They worked hard on this too.
Is there any further question or comments from council? Thank you. Okay, all in favor of approving memorandum dated August 5th, 2026, outlining the terms negotiated between the town and McCandless Police Officers Association for the collective bargaining agreement, which shall be incorporated into consolidated CBA for the term of January 1st, 2027 to December 31st, 2031, in a form acceptable to the town attorney, town manager, and the president of town council. Please respond by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, motion carries 7-0. Thank you. Okay, at this time, we would like to welcome any public comment on non-agenda items.
Irene Caliendo, 10558 Castle Lane. Madam President, if I may, in an unofficial capacity, expound a bit on the library's activities. September 19th, and I realize that's our Community Day, is the Children's Gala. And so toddler, elementary, preteen, there's something for everyone. And the more energetic among us will be able to do both. I feel confident. Secondly, I'd like to put in a few words relative to the I call them a robot, but your animatronic animals. There's also Duke the dog, who's been added to the library, and they're trying to get a second dog, but they can't order it. I mean, the order's backlog, so I find that interesting. But more to the point, in addition to the traditional library, books, movies, CDs, etc., there is a library of things to which things like these animals belong. And you can get American dolls, you can get ukuleles, you can get hotspots, and if Northland doesn't have it, someone in the Allegheny County system does. Millville will rent you tools, household tools. So think about the library for pretty much any need that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments.
Should I start outsourcing my public authority reports?
Ellen Wright, 9635 Old Coomer Road, Allison Park, PA 15101. I just want to express my sadness, my concern. The Harmony Road residents were here meeting after meeting, and they expressed the concern about the safety that they felt in their homes and their neighborhoods, and they were not well received. They were not respected, and as a fellow resident, I want to share that I share their concern. Again, I will make my offer if you want to take a look at the code with me. The modification request allows for modifications to be denied if it's not in the public interest. The Harmony Road residents expressed multiple times how the Harmony Road plans were not in the public interest, and the code supports their concern. So once again, I make my offer that if you would want to look at the code with me, I'm more than willing to share that with you. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. And is there any further public comment on non-agenda items?
Good evening. John Harrison, 1473 Hedwig Drive, Allison Park. Just a couple public announcements. One, there's a school board meeting on Wednesday. Any support that you can give to the school board and to the residents, there's a motion on the agenda to change their meeting time, the amount of time that you can speak as a speaker on any items if you register ahead of time from 5 minutes to 3 minutes. And you think, okay, what's 2 minutes? And I say, well, what's 2 minutes for the people that are on school board to sit there and let somebody speak for another 2 minutes? It's a way of basically curtailing people's free speech. And the more people that speak up about it, we can make a difference. If you remember, there was some scenarios that happened a few years ago when they were going to close Peebles Elementary School. And had you not been able to step forward and speak, Peebles would have closed, and we would have been short a school. Now this year, they're putting on the agenda to add on to 2 of the schools. Peebles is one of them, Hosack is another one. So and then they're also putting the new swimming pool in up at the high school. So when you sit there and you look at that whole thing, we were going from closing a school. The good thing is there was a grassroots group that stepped up, called the district out on what they were doing wrong or incorrect. And it was because they were able to speak at meetings like this. So having that go away is a detriment to all of us. So I would ask that you show up tomorrow on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock up at the Central Administration Building and voice your opinion. Some may not think that, but it's definitely beneficial to the community. Second thing, this week, any marching band, if you live in the area, which we all do, if you listen during the day, you'll hear them playing up on the hill. And it doesn't matter whether it's raining or I won't say snow because we haven't had snow, but raining or the heat, and they've been practicing. They have a new show this year. It should be phenomenal. You can come out Friday night at 7 o'clock up at the football stadium. It's free, and come out and show your support to the kids. There's 185 kids that have been out there working their butts off the last week and a half. So show them the support and show up and give them the credit that they have due. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, your announcements. Okay, any further public comment at this time? Okay, hearing none, can we have a motion for adjournment, please?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Turgetti. A second, please? Second. I think I heard myself first. All in favor of adjournment, please respond by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. I'm sorry, any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.